Okay, I hope this is my last and final video on Xbox One or the whole uh tech in general and some complaints. But yeah, my original complaint against Xbox One going for this whole DVR hooking to your TV and controlling your cable box being obsolete and kind of stupid, that stance still holds, and it pretty much still holds no matter what. For a lot, and I mean a lot of good fucking reasons. As I stated, with internet media becoming more and more prevalent and streaming internet, it's just becoming more and more easier. And yes, I know we can't stream, video games yet, like what the clusterfuck known as OnLive. By the way, OnLive hasn't had a fucking library update in about the last 4 months, which shows that the OnLive is about ready to show its ass out the fucking door and say bye bye. And with that, I just say good riddance on that shit. I mean, is OnLive or streaming services like OnLive our future? Yes, just not right now. And do I think that tablets and mobile phones, like Michael Patrick keeps saying, is going to take over the consoles and all the things in your living room? No, no, that's just not gonna fucking happen. There's a lot of good reasons why that's not gonna happen. And then there's this. Oh, and by the way, there's this one stupid argument that's saying, "Oh, but the iPhone has cameras on them," and people were complaining about having cameras on their phones, which, by the way, happened before fucking iPhone. They were just shittier cameras, but cameras were on phones back then. There was kind of a worry about hacking, but the main thing is that your phone's camera is can be shut off even when your phone is on because you really don't need it on. The only people who really complained about cameras on phones was mainly celebrities or people who did stupid shit and was caught on the camera phones. But then again, some people were just caught on cameras, period, doing some stupid shit for years. Like all that shit you see on Tosh.0 and stuff like that. That's just what it is. Random stupidity. And like I said, the camera on the iPhones and all fucking phones and tablets and, you know, non phone little handheld things, including the 3DS and gaming device and small handheld gaming devices, are not always on. But for some fucked up bullshit reason, they seem to think it's in the same argument as having a Kinect in your living room that will always be on and always be reading what you're doing, even when you turn the system off. The iPhone does not constantly read and watch you even when you turn the damn thing off, and even when you put it in the sleep mode, it's not watching you at all. It doesn't turn on until you tell it to turn on, or you hit the app to make it turn on. So there is no particular same argument here. And not only that, fucking phones, well before the fucking iPhone even came into existence, had fucking cameras on it. Hell, most cheap phones have cameras on them now. And it isn't because of the iPhone. It was well before the fucking iPhone. But hell, let's let the idiot community keep talking and saying stupid thing. And the same argument goes for fucking Android. Oh yeah, and before Macs started putting cameras on their laptops, other laptops had micro cameras on them too. Sometimes shitty, sometimes to the best quality they could give. Where are you people picking up these arguments from? Because they're dumb and stupid. And yes, I'm well aware that Sony Vega got in trouble for putting a whole bunch of. I mean, well, not Sony. I mean, Sony Vega. I meant, well, Sony in general. But got in trouble for having a whole bunch of those Vega computer laptops with a whole pack of DRMs just jammed into them. Or was it malware? Yeah, way to keep the people's privacy going there, huh, Sony? I just remembered it was rootkits. Sorry. Now, we don't know anything about the the Sony PS4's camera and their DRM system. According to most people, it's going to probably be the same because apparently, you know, DRMing a bunch of soon to be dead formats. Yeah, I said it. Because the disc is slowly going to be going away and it's all going to go digital download pretty soon. I don't know when, maybe 5 years, maybe 6, but it's eventually going to go away. But anyways, they want to take a soon to be dead format and police the living shit out of it. Basically, picture a SWAT team going after a dead horse that's slowly dying, and then basically putting a circle around it with their guns aimed at anyone who even gets close to the damn thing, including medics. Because, the owner of the horse wants to keep that horse to himself, and even though the horse is dying, he wants to maintain what the horse is going to do and can't do, so he's got to have the SWAT team surrounding it, willing to gun down any civilians who even pretty much gets close to that goddamn horse. Because people are fucking stupid. The horse is still going to die. No matter what you do, or how much guard you put around it, it's still going to die. Get over it. And yeah, I heard the arguments that digital download is another form of DRM. Technically, it's not. The reason why digital download is becoming more and more prevalent is the same reason why disc, cartridges and gaming consoles got replaced with CDs, and then later with DVDs, and now with Blu-ray. It's just the simple evolution of technology. And the next thing after Blu-ray will be internet, and it will probably stay internet forever. But it's just the evolution. It's just easier because why? Internet downloading has gotten faster and much more prevalent and much more quicker. And when we get our internet even fast enough, we can just fucking stream the fucking video game. Henceforth, online streaming games. But unfortunately, we're not there yet. And once we hit that area, we won't even need to update consoles anymore. We can just play these video games on anything and it will run no matter what. But like I said, the tech's just not there yet. But it's there that we can download large amounts of information. And when we're able to get to a much more wider range, close to about 90% of the United States, because right now we're at 60, or I believe 70, then we can really start going more towards constant internet shit. And by the way, to quote Adam Oath, the all handheld devices are not always online. In fact, all handheld devices can be taken offline extremely easily, and they will still function. So that's another thing Microsoft doesn't seem to want to understand. Besides wanting to say, oh, we got to take over these people's living room and take over a box that's soon to be outdated. This, cable box. We got to hook our Xboxes into these cable boxes. Even though they'll be outdated pretty soon, and streaming television is going to end up becoming the future, and all consoles are already built with that functionality. Oh well, let's just take over the television anyways. Yeah, that's why I said that Sony is no longer concentrating on multimedia features, because they already got their multimedia features in consoles. In fact, all consoles have already got the necessary multimedia features. There's no need to upgrade or add technology or other shit to it. Just allow it to run. And yeah, putting achievements on watching TV is a stupid fucking idiotic idea, Microsoft. Great, I can get an achievement for watching Babylon 5. Yay. The main reason why smart TVs failed, and they're still failing by the way, is because gaming consoles already can do this. And, do all the streaming shit, have Hulu, Netflix, and all that other crap. And guess what? And Microsoft is just going after an extra feature that's just not going to be around for much longer. And it confuses the shit out of me why they would go after such a goddamn field. Oh, we're trying to go after the living room. You already have the living room. You're just going after a device that just isn't going to be around for much longer. Why? What the fuck? And what's so great about channel surfing when you can just go to fucking Hulu and watch the goddamn show? What purpose does that form? Or Netflix? Or anything? The only real thing that's holding back the death of cable box is stupid shit like HBO Go, which is like, oh, you have to subscribe to the actual HBO channel in order to use this. Why? Come on, dude. You don't need to fucking go with HBO's channel anymore. HBO can just make their own fucking app and put a subscription service on there of their own without fucking HBO or the cable networks. They're just making you do that so you can subscribe to the cable networks. But you don't have to anymore. All they need to do is just put a simple subscription service on there and put all their shows in streaming formats on there and they're good to go. That's the same with all the fucking channels. But they don't want to listen. They want you to continually pump in money into a dying franchise. The dying cable box that's slowly getting killed and massacred by the internet. Because, what happened when the cell phone came around? It annihilated the fucking phone booth. And the same thing's happening to the cable box. The only thing is that the cable box are fighting back hard, and they're trying really hard to put this brainwashed thing inside your head to say, hey, you got to continue subscribing to us, even though you can stream most of your shit through your fucking computer or your gaming consoles now, and you technically don't need us anymore. And now Microsoft is getting into the whole, you got to continue to be with these fucking cable services, even though our own box can, do all this shit through the internet, but we're not going to tell. And then hearing people like Wilford Tech 1 defend this option, even though he's dramatically said that he doesn't even have cable anymore. What's he going to channel surf through? Static? That's all I'm going to be channel surfing through is static. And then hearing Chris Polero saying, well, all I use my Xbox to do is just play DVDs. First of all, your Xbox can also do all those internet apps that your fucking cell phone can do. And you're going to defend the channel surfing thing, even though you have admitted that you don't use cable much anymore in your own pastimes? So you're defending a feature on Xbox Live that you're not going to even bother to use. And by the way, you're an advocate of fucking streaming television and also talks more about that everything is going to go streaming. And what the fuck are you doing playing fucking DVDs? The thing is that when you're going around advocating streaming television and YouTube and Amazon Instant Video along with Hulu and Netflix and all this other shit, and then all of a sudden Microsoft comes out with a device that literally goes against what you're advocating for, and you're going to advocate for, oh, I'm going to connect my console to my fucking cable box, which should have come out in say somewhere in the early 2000s and late 90s. And and you're like Chris Polero and Soldiers Knows Best, Wilson Tech 1, and like I said, you're advocating instant video, and here's a major company going backwards in that technology. You've officially become a fucking hypocrite.